in this sort of situation, you know, Paulo, you're basically a one-man rhythm section. You're having to play bass lines. You're having to keep the rhythm happening with the other parts of your picking, and keep the harmonic ideas happening over here. So there's a lot going on, a lot of independence that needs to happen here with your fingers. Can you talk a little bit about how a player would build up some of that independence between the different, like being able to play a bass line and chords and that sort of stuff?
I guess for me, in my case, because of my classical guitar training, and I've worked on a lot of like polyphonic music, fugues by Bach, Baroque fugues, and a lot of different styles. So my right hand, I was always trying to achieve that, you know, just not only like a bass line and chords, but really like 4 different voices.
Right.
So that it comes a little bit from that perspective. So I don't think necessarily electric guitars needs to learn classical guitar, but I think a basic understanding of a right hand technique and practicing some arpeggios, practice some E2s that require like voicing, like different kinds of voicing. And by voicing, I mean the structure of the chords here, but the voicing from a perspective of sound. You know, if I'm playing this chord, a sequence of chords, like my top note's my melody. So even on a second, you can still or play like a chord melody. You know, you're gonna play alternately, be able to put the weight on the finger that has the melody.
Yeah, right.
And sometimes there will be more basic cases where that's when the melody's on top. But you're going to have cases where the melody's in the middle of the chord. It can be even more challenging to have things like that. So the melody's here, you have accompaniment here and a bass. So that adds you have to
so tricky.
You have to orchestrate